Hello everybody, welcome to URS one more time. It is round 2 of the season and we are at the Canadian Grand Prix. A little bit of a delay to the start, but as you may know, it is the second season of the Realistic League. I am Ryan Ocon31 and joining me is Lando Norris.
Hello.
Hi Lando. How are you?
Doing good.
Yeah, so just a little bit of a delay to the start, and I'm gonna try to get the people back in here who were in the lobby. So it's okay starting a little bit late, but and that will help Atlantis' sake because Atlantis is gonna be joining in late at Aston Martin. So that's okay. Just can't start too late though. That's the issue I would have. But let's make sure we get in the people who need to be getting to the lobby. But Lando, quickly talk about last week's race while I do that.
Yeah, last week's race at Britain, surprisingly, it's a first in the league where we actually had a clean race, and only one person DNF'd. Other than that, it was a pretty, wonker of a race, to say the least. We had Mercedes taking out each other. We had AlphaTauri pulling off the masterclass of Davis winning and Communists. And then we had Sam in the middle of all of it, in the Alpine, finishing off the podium. But I will say it was a very nice race, considering that nobody died. And with that, I'm hoping Canada, and this is a big if, we don't have as many DNFs. But that's a big if, considering that this is, if not one of the most grueling tracks on the schedule. Considering that we don't have Monaco on the grid.
Yeah, and I think, you you look at Saudi Arabia too. I think Saudi Arabia is another one that comes to mind when it comes to races in the season too. Doughboy isn't here, so I'm trying to get Uwu to probably be in the Mercedes. Just last minute stuff being sorted out here, but yeah, we know the thing is what's crazy about this race, Lando, is we don't really have much to go off of.
That is true. I can tell you one thing. I sense a two-stop race. I think it's a two-stopper. I'm just going to put it out there for everybody. If it's dry, we're going to have a two-stopper. Most likely it's going to be soft, medium, medium, or medium, medium, soft. I don't know how the tire wear is at this circuit, but all I can tell you is that the hards are atrocious. As they are for most circuits. That and also penalties is going to determine this race. I'm telling you this now because the Wall Champions, the first corner, it is so easy to get an exceeding track limit warning or lap time during qualifying. And sometimes, it's pretty unfair. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes in the Wall Champions corner, I think it's the inside curb, you put one tire on there, it just gives you the invalidation. Either that or it just spins your car right into the barrier, which I'm expecting today.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that. I've just invited KBR20 Joe. He's gonna get another reserve appearance. I didn't expect that to happen, but with the amount of people who with the amount of people who checked in, there was 23 people who checked in. Atlantis was tentative, and he should be able to join depending on the time he gets back. So that'd be 24 at that point. 24 people checked in is going, and we have 17 in the lobby. It's like I don't get it. I really don't. I look at it from an owner point of view and I look at it from a commentator point of view, but I understand, stuff does come up last minute, but this is just kind of ridiculous if this many people check in and then that happens. We'll get going in just a couple of minutes here, maybe a little bit less, but this is just
could be worse. Could be GSR tier 2.
Yeah, that wasn't great. I was gonna be, the thing is I was gonna be commentating that was originally gonna, then I went out last minute, and
yeah, I had to go eat, but I alerted them like an hour before the race started.
Exactly.
That just sucks, because that's honestly tier 2 and GSR is the actual fucking meat tier. Like that is the actual holy grail, I'd say.
We apologize for the language.
Oh, my bad. My bad. What? I forgot we're on air.
Yeah, we're on air.
I just pulled a award last night.
No, but you speak about GSR Tier 2. I think they're in a luckier situation, though, with it being toward the end of the game cycle, though, because when SRS, the old league I had, which took over with new ownership, you know, they were a bit luckier. He left the server. What?
Who just left?
Okay then. Oh, okay then. Okay. Nice one.
Who was that?
Okay. Okay then.
Interesting.
I'm trying to see here. Okay, so Joe is joining. He'll be in the Alpha. We need somebody in the Merc so Atlantis can make sure he's getting the Aston Martin. That's the problem. Because it
So
would
you
be.
put Atlantis in the Merc.
Well, that would be the problem. He's just not the pace of the Merc. This is a bit ridiculous.
I guess that's the good thing though about, you know, I guess GSR's tiers kind of dying is that it's towards the end of the game cycle. And I kind of agree
So
that this game has just been dull and we're excited to play the new F1 game considering that there's a lot of big changes going on with it.
yeah.
But I mean, it's also, you gotta look at it on the other side, it's just kind of ridiculous. You just kind of finish off
Right.
the game on a high, not like where you have, I'm pretty sure last night they had to get like 8 tier 3 drivers just to race for tier 2, just to get a full.
Well, no, there was 10. There was 10 tier. Well, there was 10 drivers in the race. One tier 1 and one tier 3. So I mean, I feel bad. I do. But the thing is, it's just like there are some excuses, and then there are some
Non-excuses.
non-excuses. You know, people are getting tired. So you know what? That's the way it goes. We're gonna get going here right now.
Woo!
It's time to ready up. A little bit late. I do not understand. Like, you know, 23 people check in, and I understand some of them are reserved, some of them don't always get the spot, but the thing is, it's like, people who would have an Alfa Romeo spot or something like that, you know, they check in, and it's just like, what's the point of, well,
That's why I
get
put
it, you're
myself
reserved,
in
but
the
what's the
middle.
point of, what's the, right, I mean, you know, you're there, but you show up when you want to, and you're a commentator, you know, and I'm the same way. But what's the point of joining a league if you're not going to race?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Like,
That's
if
the way
I
I look at
almost
it. And you know what?
have
It gets tired
I
for
will
league
go
owners,
in
you know?
and race.
Right. Right. But it gets tiring for league owners, you know, especially someone like me. Like, or, you know, even someone who has to sort this shit out. And apologies for my language, but it's just like, it's so annoying.
Yeah, you were
It
yelling
really
at me
is.
for language. Hold on.
Hey, you said an F-bomb, I didn't.
That is true, but
So-
I mean, if NBC allows Pato Award to yell the F word, I think we should have the same.
Hey, they apologize for the language. They know the language, so.
Listen, man, they pulled the Landis
I did
strat.
the favor.
They pulled the
Well,
best strat.
we'll see if there's any sort of rain in the session at all. But quickly going through a couple of things that are going on. By the way, we're gonna start in just a moment, as we see. Shot gets online now. Of course he does.
Of course he does.
You know, someone who said they're gonna check in a race. All right. Anyway, back to the racing aspect of it. Heading into this race, Thrasher has a 5-second penalty, but he is not on the grid. He's not able to make it today. With that being said, you then have Aaron Ocon with the one-shot qualifying. What he has to do to serve that one-shot qualifying is he has to, we don't see any rain as of right now, but we could see rain later on in the sessions. We'll find out. Anyway, continuing on the aspect, I want you to know before anything else is said, Lando, if Atlantis asks for an invite to the session, make sure you focus on main chat for that. Anyway, Aaron has a one-shot qualifying, which has to be served at the beginning of the session. He has to put on a setup, go out just basically immediately, set a lap, and if it's invalid or valid, it does not matter. You have to set a lap. And there you go. There's that. And that's the way it goes. He's allowed to compete in every qualifying session. It's just a matter of that. So that's the way it goes for him. Drivers coming out now. Polo is the first one to get out onto the track on an out lap. I know these Haas drivers were talking about, like I said, we don't have much to go off of, but these Haas drivers were setting 9-9, 10-0, 10-1, 10-2s. But besides that, I think the fastest anyone else got was a 9-6 or a 9-7 or 9-8. That's where everybody is about running. And if this many drivers are concerned about going out now, they might be concerned about rain coming into the session later on. It is pretty cloudy. And I'll find out from somebody like Sam or Polo what this weather may be. And speaking of that, I think I may have got word from QBR20 Joe. It is raining immediately.
It's raining.
But it's a dry race.
Huh.
It's raining right now?
Yeah.
Or
it started.
Really?
Yeah, it just started
See
raining
it.
in the middle sector.
Okay, I see. I see some of it. Well, it is raining and everybody is out on an all-out lap, so this will be
Everybody
the
and their
determining
mother
factor
are
of
out.
the session. I think it would be a good thing, though, for these guys not to retire so Atlantis can at least get in the Aston Martin in the correct car he's supposed to be in, but Polo is on his lap right now. We're going to focus on this. He invalidates turn 1, though.
There it is.
Well, let's go to somebody else then, because he's just invalidated. Mac Bikeman is about to start a lap right here. As we head into turn 1, he is wanting to get in the quickest lap possible, and I'm sure Paulo, he's going to go for another one. Turn 1 to 2 to clip that inside curb and do the best he can to keep it on the track. We have yellow flags in the back of the pack. That's Burning Man. He's out of this session right now. Chungus has already got a 5-player script penalty, which will hinder his session, but Mac Bikeman through 3, 4, 5, and he's going to complete the end of the first sector and get a 20.4. Now, heading through 6 and 7 here. This is a tricky set of corners. I know myself, I would say you don't want to clip that inside curb for sure, or else you're going to have a really big mistake on your lap. Now, DRS on that straight usually, and heading into another chicane, which leads you to the end of sector 2, and it will be a 42.8 at the end of that sector. Now he goes to the hairpin, one of the trickiest hairpins on the calendar because you have to counter steer the correct way in order to get yourself heading down this long straightaway. And we have yellow flags at the back of the field. That should be a Mercedes. That, I think, is Racecracker. He has spun. But continuing on Mac Bikeman, completing a lap for the first time in this session. Burning Man, he's out of Q1. He's not going to be able to complete anything. He's invalid, Mac Bikeman is. But comes to the line, what will his lap be? This is a next lap invalidated, so he's going to have to go for an even next lap after that. 1:12.3 that was, but the benchmark time is Davis, last week's winner, 1:12.5. That gets beat easily by Pluto, 1:11.5. Then by Jab, a 1:11.4. Cars continue to cross the line. Communist behind. Then Riles, who's making his first start of the season. Rowdy TJ Boy just behind. Chungus goes faster, 11.1.
Oh, beautiful.
Then cars continuing to set laps. Blue Goggy, after his most recent race ban, comes across the line. He's going to be second on the timing boards. Kostag is 9th right now. T. Blossom and Davis, they're in the concerning zone, which means they're not out yet, but they are not near the elimination zone, but they are the slowest of the people who have set laps. And speaking of setting laps, Polo God, let's get back to him. He was on a valid lap. He was on an actual valid lap after an invalid lap. He's going to cross the line now. Is this going to be a lap that's going to be safe enough to get him out of Q1? Can he keep it valid? Yes, he can. He has a little bit of a slide out of the final chicane. But where does Polo go? Coming across the line now, Polo is only going to go 10th.
That's better than having lap time.
Yeah, speaking of not having a lap time, right now it's Mac Bikeman and the McLaren who's going to cross the line. He should be able to start his first lap right here. Other drivers who are not able to complete laps are going to be coming across the line now, or simply coming back to the pits to maybe grab a fresh set of softs. But they're going to have to do it in a quick period of time. Let's see. Laps being set right now. Sam Steed, he's 7th on the board, right behind his teammate. Red Bull crosses the line. That's Will Cromack. He's only 13th right now. So Aaron Ocon as well, who's got the one-shot qualifying, is invalid, and he is out of qualifying.
Oof.
UR20 Joe is crossing the line now. He's going to be able to be 14th. It's not going to be good enough for the lap time like that, but he's got the Red Bulls safe right now.
Yeah, I think it might be over now. I think the track is just now starting to soak in the water.
Certain sections are, certain sections aren't, but it's going to be a quick matter of time before it's actually fully wet. We'll be seeing drivers get eliminated really quickly. Right now, out of the session is Burning Man and Aaron Ocon. They have no chance of making Q2. Aaron Ocon, this since he's not made Q3, but doesn't do it this time with the one-shot qualifying. Mac Bikeman comes to cross the line now. He will be only 15th behind QBR20 Joe. Racecracker's on an out lap as well. He'll be trying to get back to the line, but the track is just continuing to get wetter and wetter, so he might not improve a whole lot.
And the reason Burning Man had his accident was because Chungus was lagging and he wasn't paying attention and slammed into the back of him. So that's why Chungus might have that 5th place.
Well, I know a lot of drivers are talking about the rain for sure. Drivers are starting to retire from the session as well. We have Riles, Sam, Kostag, Polo. They think they're good on their times, and they should be. It doesn't look like it's raining too hard, but the problem is, though, the track has just got really, really wet, and that section of the track that Racecrackers just went through, and that might be the problem with him improving or not. Mac Bikeman is invalid as well, so he's on the elimination zone right now. Communist is retiring as well. But if that is the case, this would mean Williams is fastest for the first time in a qualifying session. Meaning all 10 teams have taken that record. 14 races in, they've taken that record. But with that being said, I also want to mention, Racecracker comes to the line this time. I mean, he's on the cusp of improving and maybe getting into Q2, but it's going to be a stretch to do so. Comes to the final chicane, he cannot invalidate this one. He's coming to the line now. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be through to Q2, but it might be close with the gaps there is. He just misses out.
Ugh.
And he's out of Q1. Both Mercedes are going to be out of Q1, it looks like. But quickly, I want to go over drivers making their first starts or reserve appearances. By the way, Blue Goggy, first start of the season after his race ban. Riles, first start of the season after not making the first race. T Blossom, first full-time start for him. He's never been out-qualified by a teammate. QBR20 Joe making a reserve appearance at Alfa Romeo. He reserved for Ferrari last week. Burning Man, reserve appearance at Mercedes. First start of the season, too.
And now it's just the long wait for everybody to retire.
So, with what Sam has told me, yeah, race is dry, but it's rain for the rest of qualifying, so this weather is not going to get any better. And if anybody think they can improve, I doubt anybody can. But we'll see what goes on. If these drivers, wait to retire, that will allow Atlantis to be in the Aston, but if not, the game could put him in the McLaren, which is something we don't want. So yeah, that's going to be part of that there. Ricecracker coming into the pit lane, he just misses out on Q2. It looks like Ready TJ Boy retiring from the session. Jab, a comfortable third place. He's yet to retire, though. Chungus leading the session as well. I think a lot of the drivers will tell others, hey, you probably should retire. Ricecracker is out of Q1. For sure. Both Mercedes out. And that's a quick end to qualifying. Chungus has the 5 credit penalty, but he is fastest in Q1. Just behind him, Blue Goggy for this qualifying session. Also, not to mention, too, we have drivers who were eliminated in Q1. Aaron Ocon, Burning Man, and Ricecracker. Both Mercedes out. And that's not a good thing for the way they've started off this season. Mercedes not scoring points in the first race, had a lot of penalties to do so. But there you have it with that. Very quick end to Q1. I will tell you that.
Not much to say.
What was the gap at the front of the field between Chungus and Goggy? Because I want to check.
I think that was like 1.2. I saw the top 9 were separated by 9/10 of a second.
Oh, look it's even raining even harder in Q2.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So this session's going to get interesting. Aaron Ocon starting from the back of the grid. We've seen him start from the back of the grid before in 18th. Actually, 19th if you're going to go back to Bahrain.
It's
where he... Oh, boy. Well, yeah, this might be like USA with qualifying, and I'm kind of glad it's this way. It's going to be interesting. We've not had... Well, you know what? We've not had many times where it has been... what do you call it? Yeah, we've not had many times where it's been... a simple Q1, Q2, Q3 wet session besides USA. And you know what? Many times we've seen a lot of wet running in this league. It's just been the end of Q3, it looks like. And we're going to have a lot of drivers who are going to struggle here. Possibly some who might retire from the session based off of crashes or based off of any hope for them to make Q3. But speaking about a couple of things, just want to make a note here. Both Haas, both Alfa Romeo, both Williams, the 3 lowest teams in the grid, all in a Q3. Or sorry, all in a Q2 in this session.
Let's go.
And, another stat to bring up, though, is back at USA, when you remember this, Lando, when it was Q1 wet, Q2 wet, Q3 wet, both Alfa Romeos made Q3, both Williams made Q3, but the problem with Pluto was he was not able to compete in Q3 for crashing out. And Haas drivers, I want to say both Haas drivers made it too. So we could potentially see that for the first time since USA. In that sense, I want to say that's the last time that's happened. But we have cars starting laps now. We're going to focus on the Alpine first. That's Rowdy TJ Boy. coming to enter the final couple of corners. He took a 4th place finish last week after Polo got his out, and
Oh,
that is
no.
Haas with that stat not in a good spot.
You just had to say
I did have to say something. I did.
Come
I did.
on,
Rowdy
man.
TJ boy.
That's
Through
my
turn
car.
1 to 2.
That's my man. You can't be doing that.
Well, if he finds that one out on stream, it's not going to be a good one. Rowdy TJ boy struggling through 3 and 4 a little bit. And he'll be the first one to set a lap. He'll be the benchmark time. We have to go off of Sector 1, 24-1. A little bit of struggling there on the traction, and you're going to be expecting drivers to do so. I did do some wet running and some wet practice with Sam Steed and Riles, and I will tell you right now, it is a bit tricky in the full wet. Not as tricky in the inners. So this is going to be a really, really tricky session for these drivers. Ready, TJ Boy coming through the chicane now and entering the end of Sector 2. It is going to be a 50.2 for him, and he is setting the benchmark time right now. Heading to the hairpin, take it a bit more conservative. You got to try to be careful here. Don't slide off the exit.
He's still going.
He is really taking it very easy. You know, and expect drivers to set more than 1 lap in the session too. And who knows if this rain will get worse or not, but I don't think anybody will retire based off of just thinking they're safe, because you just never know. Here he comes to the final chicane now. He might be close to invalidating. He doesn't right there. Perfect through the chicane, actually. Comes to cross the line now. What will he set? Will be the benchmark time. It is a 23-1. Riles comes to cross the line now. Is he going to beat that? 22-3. He goes even faster. Behind that, it's an Alfa Romeo. That is QBR20 Joe. About to start a lap. Then you have the Red Bull of, well, Chromac or Blossom. Blossom is third on the speed charts. Takes it over from Davis.
Yeah,
Davis takes it over, I should say.
I think Poa might have found out about the thing.
Oh dear.
This
well,
is some treacherous conditions.
Interesting.
Be nice if it just hails down even more. Just get a nice 2011 Canada move right here.
Well, Paulo's not gonna like that one for sure, but let's head through some drivers who are on laps. Communist, I think, had a little bit of struggle there through the end of Sector 2. Yellow flag, that's Chungus out of the session.
Oh, no!
Did he retire on track? Yes, he did. That's, oh my god, that curse is really bad. I really jinxed. That's two of the six drivers and the slowest 3 cars out of the session already.
Oh, no. Okay, the Alfa Romeo just pulled off. I thought he was dead.
UR20 Joe off the track, trying to get out of the way. Pluto is fastest now, 21-7. Ready, TJ Bar, who is that who set a lap? Oh, that's Will Chromac who set a lap in the Red Bull. He's on the timing charts. Riles has left the session. You might need an invite back, Lando. But we have an Alpine crossing the line now. That's Rowdy or Sam.
Who needs it?
McLaren, Aaron, and Riles. Both of them just left the session. More drivers cross the line now. Nobody who's on a valid lap, it looks like. Maybe an AlphaTauri. Communist goes ahead of his teammate for the time being. They're going to be in a Q3 for now. Yellow flag through Sector 1. That might be a Red Bull right there. I think that was Blossom trying to get out of the way of somebody. Ready, TJ Boy getting out of the way of somebody as well. Aston Martin crossing the line. That's Blue Goggy. Where's he going to go? He's going to start a lap, actually. Riles has joined back the session. With that being said, an Alfa Romeo on a lap. That's Kostag. He's invalidated, though.
I swear to God, if you jinx him now.
I've jinxed 2 of the 6 drivers. Oh my god, I should have just said nothing. Oh.
Yeah, you jinxed everybody but Pluto.
Well, Kostag's still in the session. Joe's still in the session. And guess what? Joe is taking a gamble and going to go for the intermediates right here.
And
Same with Sam. Same with Sam. They're making us think, are they actually going to go on the intermediates? Who?
Kostag just slammed the wall, and I'm pretty sure that's damage.
Speaking of the wall, Jab got close to at the wall at Champions here, but he's going to start a lap just now. And is Joe and Sam actually going to go out on both these tires right here? Or are they just fooling us like I did to the commentators in Portugal? That bikeman crosses the line. 8th place for him. Even if Kostag does have damage, I think he's continuing with the lap anyway. 51-2 through Sector 2. And this is the first time these drivers have had to deal with their car in the wet. You know, I think I would say everybody necessarily in slower cars or even in faster cars. And QBR20 Joe and Sam, they weren't lying. They're going out in intermediates. If
Let's
this is
go.
actually a
And Riles.
if this is actually a bold Riles too, really? Wow, yeah, you're right. This could be interesting, and this could be the difference in making Q3 or not. Right now, it's Polo and Chungus out, but still, wow. I'm surprised. And, you know, I don't think the track is maybe necessarily full wet, but
looks cleaner.
you never
to
know.
Be honest.
It does look cleaner. And it doesn't look like the rain is coming down as hard. Pluto is still going to cross the line and try to maybe take a faster lap. We have a yellow flag for
Goggy's
Aston
run out of
Martin.
gas.
That's Blue Goggy. Yeah, and Pluto crosses the line 2/10 down on his best lap right there. And they were not joking about the intermediates right there. Blue Goggy's invalidated. Jab's coming across the line now. Is Jab going to go fast? Yes, he is. Second place for him.
How
about that? How about that?
Oh boy.
Mac Bikeman invalidated, but improved his lap anyway. Well, speaking of improving their laps, Will Cromack goes up to 4th place as well in the Red Bull.
Here we go.
And Rowdy TJ Boy is now the next driver to try to go for intermediates, but KBR20 Joe is entering turn 1 now in the intermediates. He's struggling just a little bit, but I think once these tires get up to temperature and actually get used to, he might be okay, but he goes for a slide, he goes for another slide, and cannot get out the traction off turn 2. And there's a wheel on track,
not the
okay.
chicane, not the chicane.
Keeps it going in the middle corner. He has made it, and now to the end of Sector 1. Is there an improvement? Well, he hasn't set a lap yet. 24.5. You'll have to focus on Riles there at the end of Sector 1 to see if there's any sort of improvement, but...
24.2.
Going... Is that improvement?
Yeah. Well, no, actually,
By
no.
how much?
Pluto said Pluto on his wet tire actually said, I think, a 24.0 or a high 23.
So these intermediate tires, look at the rain coming down now. It's not as heavy. It's getting much more lighter. Pluto faster, 21.3. 51.4 in the second sector for Joe. Goes to the hairpin now.
Riles sets a 50.4.
Yes. Well, let's check QBR20 Joe's sectors here compared to Pluto's. 24.5, 26.9, 23.3, 25.8. So, yeah, maybe by the end of the session it might be okay. Comes to the final chicane now. He has to try something, but he's getting invalidated, though. He's not going to be able to complete this lap or the next lap because both of them will be invalidated. Sam is crossing the line as well in intermediates now.
Riles is about 7/10 down on his lap.
Sam has yet to set a lap as of right now. Crosses the line now. 7th place for him. Rowdy TJ Boy also on the inners. Blossom on the inners. Goggy on the inners. It is much more diverse with the tire decisions here. Rowdy is starting a lap. Sam is going to continue on a lap and possibly try to improve to get him 3.
The understeer on the Ferrari. He's 7/10.
Riles,
yeah, 7/10 down on his lap.
But those 7/10 could be improving to maybe 2/10 down at the end of the qualifying session. Because it does look like it's getting lighter. But not too much lighter, I will tell you that. As of right now, the Elimination Zone, it's Mac Bikeman on the Elimination Zone. Kostag is yet to set a lap. He looks to do so if he can keep it valid this time.
Sam's just set a purple middle sector. Sam's got purple.
That is promising. That's promising. Let's see at the end of this lap what Sam can do. He goes to the hairpin now and goes on to the longest straightaway on the track. Here he goes. Now heading to the chicane this time. It is looking good, and more drivers are heading toward the intermediates. Will Cromack is next. Where does Sam go? Sam is right now 7th on the leaderboard. He does a great chicane right there. Comes across the line now. Where is he going to go? Sam is 3rd.
On the inners.
Look at this. Pluto is now going to the inners as well. He's electing the inners, and it does look promising for these guys. If this is the way Q3 goes, I will be amazed.
Davis is still trying to go on his lap. He's going to be out of gas now, but he's run 6 laps on his set of wets.
And he hasn't gone to 2nd place, too. So, you know, he's going to want to switch to these inners anytime soon. He can't cut the track right there, Davis.
Oh.
Can't cut the track. That's not a good thing there. We've caught that on the stream.
We're 2 for 2. We're 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Let's go.
Maybe next... I'm sure with France, with the track limits, we might be 3 for 3 next week. But, yeah. We'll see about that. Rowdy TJ Boy is improving 85 thousandths in the first sector. Riles as well is invalid on his lap. Sam is still going for more. Davis entering the pits now. Pluto on an outlap.
This is absolutely crazy.
It is crunch time for sure because Blugagi yet to set a lap, Joe yet to set a lap, Kostag yet to set a lap, and they're right now in the elimination zone.
Gotta say, I
And if
thought
they
Pluto
don't set
wasn't
laps,
gonna
by
go
the
out
way,
there.
by the way, if they don't set laps, by the way, you're gonna have Polo starting 12th.
Let's go. Don't set a lap. Crash.
Well, speaking of not setting a lap, Blossom is invalidated, but he's currently in to Q3 right now. And a stat I find interesting in his first full-time race is he's never been out-qualified by a teammate.
Well, right now it's happening. So unless he bottles it again, he should
Checking
be able
the
to get up
chat.
there.
Chungus, upset that I jinxed him. JNT wants me to stop jinxing people. I will try not
Yeah,
to.
man, these backmarker cars, they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
You should jinx someone like, maybe
Well,
maybe
speaking
Mercedes.
of jinxing, Blugagi's coming to the chicane now. Has to keep it off the wall. Here he comes to cross the line now. He's
Slam
yet
the
to
wall.
set a lap. But where does he go? He's going to go fourth.
The only green car in the field.
Well, can we see any other drivers improve on any laps? Jab is crossing the line now. He's starting a lap. Pluto as well on a lap.
Mac
Let's watch our fastest driver in the
went
session on a lap.
10th on wet. He's just
Well,
one
that's
above
impressive,
Blossom with
but
a 23.7.
he's going to want to be on intermediates if he can make this because Sam Steve's joined back, by the way. I don't know what happened to him, but Pluto has just gone purple through the first sector. Williams have never led a qualifying session prior to this Grand Prix. Here is Will Cromack, though, gonna go third. But
Let's go.
Williams never led a qualifying session prior, and they led it with Chungus in Q1. Pluto leading right now in Q2. Riles going P2.
Oh, he's miles ahead. Pluto 4 tenths up on his time. Purple middle sector. McLaren spun in the middle sector. As Pluto's just nailing
Less than a minute
down.
remains.
He's got
And
the
just
best
about
chicane.
10 seconds. Someone improved on the lap. I'm not sure who that was, but whoever it was,
I think it was Rowdy.
made sure they were into Q3. Yeah. Pluto comes to the final chicane
Oh my
now.
God, he didn't
Comes to cross the line. He's just flying.
He just
He's gonna
nailed
be a
it.
second ahead. It looks like. Here he goes.
Good lord.
20.8.
Put him in the manor.
Pluto is still fastest.
Get him in the manor.
Well, Blugagi goes second. And Jab improves as well to third, and I think there was another improvement as well. Kostag and Joe, both Alfa Romeos, yet to set a lap. Kostag going through the middle sector right now. This is going to be his only lap.
Oh,
Joe
Rowdy's
can possibly
validated.
get back to the checkered flag. Rowdy has invalidated, but currently he's safe.
But
It's
is it good
Blossom
enough?
who's not as well, and Blossom is still somehow valid, but he's going to go wide.
I think it's over for him.
It's over for Blossom, but Kostag and Joe are the only ones who can make a difference
Oh,
if
there
Matt
goes his
Bikeman
line.
is the one getting knocked out. Joe loses the rear off the final corner, but he's coming to the cross the line now. This is going to be his first and only lap in the session, it looks like. No, he still can keep going because he's only 10th as well. He didn't. He was just made it by just a second, and he is currently in. Kostag could make the difference between him and his teammate. Comes to the chicane now. He keeps it valid.
boy.
He's kept it going and comes to cross the line. Where does he go? Yet to set a lap. He's in.
He's in. He knocked his teammate out.
But his teammate could knock somebody else back out, going through the first sector right now.
Oh no.
Joe has lost the rear. Pluto goes faster.
Oh,
9
no!
tenths and Joe is out. Oh
God
no.
dang it. You just said he
Oh.
could knock someone else out. He knocked himself out. You got a problem with backmarkers, Ryan? Do you have
I got
a
a problem with jinxing people. I did this back in ARL too. Davis, he's safe right now, but he's gonna try to maybe complete
need
his lap.
help.
No, he's invalidated. Oh.
You just ruined
Communist,
this
by the way.
Alfa
By the way, Communist has just crashed out of the session, and he makes Q3, but he's not gonna be able to compete in Q3 now.
Oh.
So his run for back-to-back poles will not happen, and Will Cromack in the Red Bull. First qualifying session in the wet. His first full qualifying session in the wet goes second place.
Let's go.
2 tenths separate him and Pluto. URS 20 Joe's gonna be frustrated with that one. Does not make Q3. And the Alfa Romeo. He was close. But not close enough. Sam needs an invite back, JNT said. Make sure you get him an invite back. That is a rep for sure, Joe. Oh. Well, that is the end of this qualifying. The first time your champion is fastest in a qualifying session. This had never happened previously. It's happened now. Just like last week, AlphaTauri took 2 back-to-back qualifying sessions led. Williams hadn't led a qualifying session prior to today, and they're going to take 2 back-to-back qualifying sessions led with both 2 different drivers, just like last week.
Let's go.
So, lead us down the qualifying running order from this session, Lando.
So, Pluto fastest, as per usual, but first time Williams has actually led a qualifying session, believe it or not. So it's Pluto with a 123, followed by Will, excellent run by him, setting a 120.5, followed by Jab in the Haas, another great run for the Haas team. Followed by Goggy, Riles, Sam, Kostag, Rowdy, and Davis. Davis, interestingly, has made it through to Q3 on the wet tire. Staying away from the Inter, but, as you can see, not a really representative time between the top 9, because there's different tire and different condition. Almost separated by
Now
2
for
seconds between them.
Q3. Yeah, exactly. Now for Q3, I'm definitely curious in whether it will be Inter the whole time, but going to wet, or what the session will look like based off the weather. If anybody who's in the session could tell me, that would be wonderful. But we only have 9 drivers competing in this session. Speaking of the backmarker cars, let's talk about the drivers for the teams who have made it into this session. Alfa Romeo's Kostag has made it. He's the only Alfa Romeo in this session. AlphaTauri, only AlphaTauri competing, but both AlphaTauris have made it. Haas have Jab in the session. Jab, his first Q3 appearance. And Bulgogi, just like in the session last season in the wet, he's made it back to Q3 once again. Rowdy TJ Boy in the Alpine. Sam in the Alpine, double Alpine session. Williams, only 1 Williams, and only 1 Red Bull and Ferrari. So, you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, pretty much 8 different teams making Q3. The only teams who did not, well, that's Mercedes and McLaren. And that surprises me just a bit.
I'm not really too surprised with McLaren. I'm a little more surprised with Mercedes than the McLaren team.
I don't know. Max Bikeman with his first running in the league hasn't got off to the greatest start. I know he had the collision with Pluto last week, and he got the post-race penalty. He didn't finish in the points, and got crashed on lap 24 of the Grand Prix last week. But he's just now had a great start. Hopefully he can turn it around, maybe at the halfway mark in the halfway break. But this looks like a marathon now to get a lap in, or just simply to get single laps in. It is the intermediate tire, and if the weather does get better, I mean, who knows? But a lot of drivers are backing off here as we enter Sector 3. Who's the first one to start a lap? It's going to be a Haas driver.
Let's go.
Lando, you've not had the chance to focus on him quite a bit in this session. How about you take a focus on Jab and go through this lap here?
We love Haas. All right, Jab winding up his Haas, the best car in the field. For obvious reasons. Here he comes, battery on, full blast, into turn 1. He wants to keep it towards the inside. He does beautifully, and now he wants to rotate the boat. And he does that perfectly. Going into one of the dreaded chicanes for this car, but knowing Jab, he's absolutely gonna send it, and takes it a little cautious, but you know what? We're gonna take it. Runs right up to the rumble strip, through this corner, through this kink. It's a 22.7, great first sector, and now begins the second sector. This is the corner of death. You don't want to spin the rear wheels, as he does a little bit, but he keeps it going. Absolutely on the mark, and now under the Rolex bridge, into another chicane. Yes, this track has a lot of chicanes. Clips the inside curb beautifully, runs enough inside curb, gets the rotation, power down. Now, all you got left is the hairpin and a long straight for you. 47.8 in the middle, hairpin. He goes a little deep, but he keeps it on the apex. He pushes it out wide. Does he use a little bit of the rumble strip? No, he uses the white line. Down the straight, no DRS, so he's going to be throbbing for engine power. Anything he's got in the Haas, he's going to need it for this straight and the next one. But in between it is the wall of champions. Here he goes. 4th gear. He sends it through the first, sends it through the second.
Wow.
Nice power slide out. Beautiful moves to the line. He's going to get rewarded with the lap, and that lap is a 1:19.6. Gets in there.
That's the lap to beat in this session. Here it comes, cars crossing the line now. Pluto goes faster, 19.4. It's an Alpine crossing the line next. That's Sam. He's 5/10 down. The Ferrari of Riles. Where can he go? He's only going to be 4th. And then Pluto's also got Davis in his way as of right now, but there are still cars crossing the line. Well, Chromac is next in the Red Bull. He's going to go 5th. The Alfa Romeo Kostag. He was invalidated on that lap, but he's going to start one now. Rowdy to the pit lane. And we have Blue Goggy coming across the line in this next car to cross the line. So, chat has predicted a couple of drivers who will take pole. Just want to quickly go over that. Kostag has got J&T and Joe's pick, and Burning Man says Pluto. Goggy crosses the line now. It's going to be the front row for now, but the Sector 3 was purple.
That Ashton straight line speed, man.
Jab is still up on his time. He's 61 thousandths up, and he's still improving.
Let's go. Just send it.
Through the middle sector, he was great. In this third sector, he was great last time, but can he be even greater this time? He did send it more, but he's got to get right to the line now. Can he go pole in the Haas? We've seen it happen before. He's just off of the front row.
That's still a really good lap.
Davis is going to go 4th. Yeah, Williams of Pluto, I think, crosses the line. Sam crosses the line. He's going to go to the front row.
Riles to the line. He's going to stay in 6th. Here comes Will.
I think
he's on a recharge.
Riles.
Oh,
yeah,
no
he's
flag.
on a recharge. Here he goes.
Going into the pits. I believe Rowdy had to go
set a lap. Rowdy on the outlap, by the way. Yup, correct. That is correct. Might have been. Next car to cross the line is Blue Goggy. He's down 7 tenths this time. Jab through the first sector. Up a tenth this time. Jab is continuing to improve. He's got to keep it valid. And Jab, I predicted 3 drivers in this race could possibly go the full race without getting a qualifying penalty. Purple!
He's gone purple.
And one of those drivers was Jab. And right now, he is doing a stellar job. Let's check other drivers through the lap. Pluto up 7 thousandths. Riles up 3 tenths right now. 2 tenths now. Where does Jab go when he gets to this final chicane? He's going to have to send it even more if he can improve. He does send it a bit more. A little bit better on the gearing. A little bit better on the gearing. But he crosses the line now. Where does Jab go? Oh my god. Only a 1,000th improvement. Oh my god. Pluto was up on his time as well. Can he go even faster than the pole time? Yes, he does.
He goes even more.
Next up is Riles, and the Ferrari was up, and he's going to go even faster. 5th place for him. Both Alpines. One starting a lap, one completing a lap. Sam Steed, I think he was on a recharge.
Yeah, he was on a recharge, and he's going to go again here. He's going to absolutely try to sling this Alpine around the Canadian GP.
Chromac invalidated for 2 laps in a row through the final chicane right there. Jab through the first sector, this time 6 tenths down. So if anything, Jab is going to want to get back to the pit lane. By the way, we have a crash in the first sector. That might be Rowdy. That is. He's invalidated.
Not again.
Yeah, poor session from the driver from Alpine. Jab is definitely not up in his time, so I think he's trying to get back to the pit lane and going to take a fresh set of tires. But else improving. Pluto is up a 10th again.
Oh my god.
Riles down. Chromac invalid. Yeah, so let's watch the end of Pluto's lap here. Pluto on a pole lap. Can he continue to make this even a better pole lap?
It's exactly a 10th.
He has yet to take pole in this league in his championship season. He's champion from this league now. He's got to keep it valid. He's doing so.
He did that.
Going through the chicane now. Clips the grass just a bit, but comes to cross the line now. It's even faster. 3 tenths faster.
I'm calling it.
This
He's
is
going to
why
go
he
into
was
the
champion
18s.
last season. You know what? We could see an 18. But will it be from him or not? I don't know. If anybody's closest to do it, I think it could be Jab. Jab, Sam or Riles.
Or Goggy.
I just don't see anybody else doing it. Goggy, possibly, but he's not been able to hook up the best one lap. He does have a good one lap pace, as you mentioned last season, and he did have that in USA when it was a similar session. But
interestingly enough, he's got 7 laps of fuel on his dashboard right now.
Well, that's a bit too much if he wants to be able to complete a good enough lap here. Speaking of good enough laps, Chromac, not a good enough lap yet. He's invalidated. And if these guys want to continue to set laps, they got to come back to the pit lane. Kostag is on the softs.
Let's go.
Never mind. Switch back to the inners. Never mind. Switch back to the inners. Just fooling us.
Yeah, soft tire, man. Well,
Burning Man was right as of right now. It is, is that Atlantis is coming on now, so he's going to need an invite quickly. Make sure you send him a couple within these next couple of minutes, because he's going to have to get in here quickly. Here comes drivers coming out of the pit lanes now. Atlantis to the session. Gagi is starting a lap now. He's going to be the first driver we focus on in these last couple of minutes. 3 minutes remain. He's the only one currently on a validated lap, and he's starting one. And now, if this is dying down, if the rain is dying down, if the track is getting drier, because we saw Kostak switch to the softs for a quick moment, we could be seeing mega improvements from drivers, and especially with quicker tires and less fuel. Gagi is up at 10th right now.
Alrighty.
Going through the end of Sector 1 and the beginning of Sector 2 now for Gagi. He's going to enter the chicane this time. We have a horrible camera angle as we see on stream. Gotta keep it valid. Honestly, we get a little bit more of the track in this angle. Anyway, Gagi coming to the end of Sector 2. He was up at 10th in Sector 1, but it's 4/10 through Sector 2. That would put him pole right now. Purple for him. And Pluto has set pole as of right now, but he's got to make sure he can get a good enough lap. He's going to come out as late as possible, it looks like. He's coming out now, I think.
I've just sent Atlantis 3 invites.
Alright, gotcha. Gagi coming to the line this time. Has to enter the final chicane first. He cannot invalidate. Here he comes. Oh, it goes a bit wide. Wide an entrance, wide an exit too.
Oh my god!
Losing the rear. That could cost him pole, but he's going to be front row with the way his lap was shaping up to be. Where does he go? He cannot improve at all.
He lost the 3/10 that he had.
Sam is coming for a lap to start now. Chromac in the Red Bull is up on his time by 7/10. Can he improve at position? Can he go faster? What's he going to do?
6th.
6th place. Good for him. Rowdy TJ Boy, he's starting a lap now as well. Kostag in the Alfa Romeo starting a lap now as well. The only person on a lap so far, and he's going to have one final lap when he comes to cross the line, will be Pluto. The next to cross the line is Jab, up at 10th right now. Let's focus on the rest of this lap and focus on the rest of the session on board with him.
He's going to get 2 laps here.
Davis, up 3/10.
And knowing Jab, he's going to send this final chicane, keep it within the track limit. Just like that. Absolutely spotless. To the line he comes.
Across the line now.
It's going to be second with more time to be found. And he'll get one more bite of the cherry. Unlike the others, he will be the last car to set a lap. Everybody else won't have another go at this.
Still on an outlap. Davis crosses the line now. 5th place for him. Behind that, there's a Ferrari crossing line of rails. Everybody else, I think, had gotten validated or something on starting a lap. Pluto is starting a lap, but the trouble for him is he's in some sort of traffic. He has Davis in front of him, Riles behind him. Gagi comes to cross the line. Can't improve at all. Alpine comes to cross the line. Sam goes pole!
Sam pole! There it is!
On F1 2019, he crashed behind into the safety car. Right now, he's on pole.
Well, now we don't need a safety car in this race.
Can't cross the line to improve.
Jab's a 10th down.
Rowdy yet to set a lap. He's going to be invalidated. Rowdy's going to start 9th only. Kostag comes to cross the line. Kostag completes a checkered flag in 8th.
Oh. Oh, TJ's dead. Oh, no.
Pluto is up at 10th. And he could possibly take pole here, depending on what happens. Jab comes to cross the line now. He's going to go through the final chicane and validates. He can only start a best of 3rd. Pluto. He was good through the hairpin there, and you could tell the momentum is coming down the straight now. The track is dry. No more rain. This will be the critical moments of this qualifying session, and who takes pole in this Grand Prix? Pluto, a perfect chicane, comes to cross the line now. Where does he go?
Is it pole?
He's
yes,
pole.
it is. It's a pole.
For the first time, Pluto's on pole for now. Provisional pole. The AlphaTauri crosses the line. Davis can't improve. Behind, it's the Aston Martin of Gagi, and out.
Oh my
He's
God,
out of the session.
Oh,
Sam crosses the line. He can't improve to pole, but he's improved his time. Chromac is the only one who can say something in this session. But as of now, your past champion's on pole. He's invalid. Pluto, for the first time, pole.
Well then.
Wow.
I guess it really is a first for everything in this league now.
Wow. 69,000, and this is the first time that Sam and Pluto start 1-2 since Singapore last season.
Makes sense. It's a street circuit.
Well, there you go.
Something about street circuits, I'm telling you.
Well, run through the lineup quickly. Lando.
Pluto taking his maiden pole position. Kind of weird to say. Followed by Sam on the front row of the grid. Jab at an excellent P3 in the Haas. Followed by Goggy, Davis, Riles, Kromack, Kostag, and Rowdy TJ, and Communist, even though he's not in Q3, are your top 10. Sadly enough, though, I'm pretty sure we're going to see everybody on the medium tire. Because everyone now has the free set of tire that they can go on. Due to the rain. Oh, that is bright. Ow. That is a bright sun.
That is, and good thing the race will be dry, for sure. But Williams absolutely dominated the field there in that qualifying session. In the qualifying sessions, by the way. Let me just put that into perspective there. Pluto fastest in Q2 and Q3. Chungus fastest in Q1. And by the way, Sam best qualifying yet in the Alpine. Jab best qualifying yet in the league. Best qualifying Haas has had in a long while, by the way. Goggy, I don't want to say that's his best starting spot as well. Tied it from Portugal, possibly. Will Kromack, best qualifying spot, I think, for him as well. Kostag made it to Q3 for the first time, I want to say.
There's a lot of best and a lot of firsts. So this should be a very cracking race. Thank you, Rain, for providing a great, and I mean a great qualifying session. As now we begin the formation lap for all 18 drivers. We look at the tire compounds.
Well, yep, look at that. Here, we're going to go through the tire compound.
Between medium and
ones
soft.
To watch. Look at this. Okay, so quickly. Pluto and Sam on the mediums. Davis on the mediums. Kostag on the mediums. Aaron Ocon on the mediums. Everybody else is on softs. Chungus with excluded penalty is going to start down in 18th place.
Oh.
And we already have disqualified. But anyway, chat, I want to hear your podium prediction quickly. With that being said, I'm going to go through one favorite. You'll go through one favorite. Then we'll get to the podium prediction. Anyway, I think it has to be said that Pluto's pace is definitely not going to go underestimated, for sure. He has been fast, and he could possibly go from the pole to win. And you know what? His best qualifying before, Williams' best qualifying before was second. Now they have finally took their first pole in the league, and it's with Pluto, the champion. The champion has taken 14 races to finally qualify on pole. And guess what? Last season he got out qualified by a teammate a lot, didn't get out raced a whole lot. Well, really only once. And he's just put it on pole. So this is a good sight to see. And I think he's my favorite to pick in this race. One favorite from you, Lando, quickly.
My favorite is the guy starting in P18, Chungus. I've set him with him at Britain, and he got disqualified 2 seconds into the GP for no reason. I'm going to go with him again, because Williams has shown that they got the pace, and if there's anybody that can show it, besides Pluto, it's Chungus. He's been up there with his teammate, you know, when he's not disqualified or had misfortunes. But I'll tell you what, he's my favorite to win this race, and possibly to win it all. I'll put it out
there.
Well,
podium prediction quickly. I'm going to go with... I'm still saying Riles. I think Riles takes the win. Actually, no, I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch that, actually, because the tires. I'm going to go with Sam. Pluto, Jab. I think it stays the same, just basically. Lando, quick podium prediction.
I'm going to go with Pluto, Davis, and Communist for the podium. That's who I think.
Oh,
Here
boy.
we go.
Let's get interesting. Here we go. We're just waiting for the drivers to ready up. Now, here come the 5 red lights for the Canadian Grand Prix. There are 5 red lights for the Canadian Grand Prix. The first time in URS we've had a Canadian GP. It's lights out. Here we go. Goggy moving up to start, looking to make it 3-wide already. Oh. Look at that. Sam already down to 4th, but it is Pluto leading, and Goggy up to 2nd already. And Jab still taking 3rd over Sam, and a bit of a stack up throughout the field.
Communist
we have contact.
Been spun round.
Communist down the order, Polo down the order, a couple of drivers down the order. Sam gets back by Davis, and Jab is looking to take 2nd place on Goggy already.
It's absolute carnage. Front wings are flying through the first sector. I think it was on a McLaren.
Bikeman fell down the field, and I think he might have been the one who took wing damage. He's going wide.
Polo's been absolutely shunted by Will. Will did not give him the space, and Chungus is already up to 14th. He survived the melee, the first sector. But there's still more to come. The McLaren in the wall again.
Speaking of avoiding the melee, Pluto's already got out to almost lead. And you're right, the McLaren into the wall. He's having to pull over because he has damage. And look at both Red Bulls have to go by right here.
Oh,
and there's a bit of contact. Look at that, the McLaren of Mac Bikeman going off again. We have possible moves being made. Aaron Ocon started 17th. He's already up to 10th place.
He's got cojones. What the heck is happening? They're side by side. Will and Communist side by side through the wall. The wall champion won. They kept it together. Great move. As Polo,
Pluto,
Mac, and Rylus Cracker are the victims of the first lap 1 melee.
Yeah, they have to pit because they took damage. So Pluto leads the first lap, and Polo, his strategy will be compromised. And I said he had some good luck in the podcast earlier today. I said he had some good luck coming his way, considering he had a good stretch of races, and he's already gotten into some trouble. But still, long race. Lap 2 of the Grand Prix, and we already have 5/10 being cut down to the race lead between Gagi and Pluto.
This isn't a race about being fast. It's a race about being the most smart and surviving. That and also having a battery. And as Coase said, looking to shape up a move on the Ferrari. He's going to do a nice Danny Rick dive bomb. He kept it clean, and he's going to get rewarded with the overtake. Wonderful move into the hairpin.
Aaron Ocon also gets by Chungus right there as well. Chungus was challenging back for the moment, and you also have Riles trying to come back at this right now. But Costa got off to a great start. 2 positions gained, but even better start for Burning Man. Aaron Ocon and Chungus both all gaining 6 spots. And yeah, let's talk about Blue Gagi. 2 spots gained. Sam, 2 lost for him.
He's shaping up a move, never mind that.
Here comes Kostag again!
Oh!
5th place for Kostag already, and his finish in the league right now is 5th, and he could possibly be taking a better finish than that already.
Yeah, and Pluto and Gagi had a little shake up there in the turn 1. Gagi got into the side pod of him. I don't think there was damage as they're both continuing, but that was a crazy dive bomb by Gagi, and Burning Man with the first penalty of the race.
Here comes Davis once again on Kostag. Davis is going to retake that position. And you're right, Burning Man has taken the first penalty, but he's also taking the first dive at QR20 Joe. He can't make that move right there. But for the race lead, Pluto and Gagi both going inside one another.
Oh.
Gagi's got a little bit of lag right there at the chicane, which has cost him to go back. And I think Jab and Sam are going to go ahead.
He just got teleported from 2nd to 4th.
Yeah, and he got teleported up to Pluto because the gap was not even really existent there beforehand. But here comes Kostag once again with more straight line speed and the DRS to possibly pass Davis right here into the chicane. Here comes Riles as well.
Just absolutely insane. The straight line speed is...
Whoa! Here comes Rowdy, who's going to take 2 and 1 possibly. Davis and Riles had to slow because they were side by side. Here comes Rowdy.
Rowdy picking up the pieces, but it's not done yet.
Still wheel to wheel.
Woo!
He can't get ahead right there, but he's going to stay in 7th. And yeah, Gagi also picked up a penalty on the lap as well. Communist down a spot. Aaron Ocon gaining on Joe and is going to go ahead there too. So much happening.
Brutal. Crazy. I'm loving it.
Race Cracker takes the fastest lap on the mediums, and on the new tires, Polo God is going to pit again.
Oh, it's going great for one side of the garage for Haas, and no, man.
I'm disappointed in you, Polo.
Come on, Polo, you know better. Oh, yellow flag dog, he spun it! He's binned it! He must have gotten on the inside of the curb and his spun, he's down the 10th.
I think he might have done a full 360 right there too, because he's kept it going in a straight direction.
No damage,
but he's just barely inside the points. With that being said, DRS trained from 4th on back, DRS trained from 1st to 3rd, and Kostag leads the way from 4th on back. Riles looking hungry right here in his first race of the season. And for Ferrari, full time.
It's absolutely crazy.
Burning Man has also got off to a great start. It's not going to go unnoticed here too, because look at this. The positions gained for him, 8 spots gained. Chungus has gained 9, but Blue Gagi and QBR20 Joe are into the pit lane. Gagi's missing his whole front wing. Joe is going to repair front wing too.
The race of attrition has begun, and I'm disappointed. And like you said, disappointment for not Pluto, Polo there.
Polo. Yeah.
I expected better.
I don't understand why he retired. I really don't understand why he retired. They're so long in this race. There could be a safety car. You just never know.
It's a street circuit.
It's just poor from him. You
know,
just never know.
Like it's gonna happen. You race on.
Speaking of you never know, speaking of never knowing, his teammate Jab is still close to Pluto. 2 tenths separating them, and this could get close because Jab has got within the detection point of DRS, and these two are two of the slowest cars in a straight line, and these two battling for the lead. Sam as well, in the same position he was at this moment of the race last week, where he was third, watching the action in front of him unfold. Jab, lower ERS than you'd expect, but he's got much higher ERS than Pluto.
And I like what Jab is doing. He's just gonna ride around. There's no need. You're 5 laps in. Just ride around and just.
Oh, we have a move being made again. Ryle's overtaking Kostag, and Kostag's looking to overtake him back into turn 1. Couldn't make it right there. Behind that, Burning Man's still running close to Davis, and he's in the points right now, Burning Man. But he does have a penalty to spare, which would possibly put him out.
The crazy thing about all of this is that Kostag and Riles have the exact same battery, and it's pretty much under the 20%. You look behind him, Rowdy. He's almost got 3 times that with 81%.
Yeah, and then you have Burning Man behind 21, Chungus 51. Chungus still within this train after starting as far down as he did. He was down in 18th at the start. And yeah, I mean 13th on back. They've already made a pit stop. They've already had trouble in their races. They've had to repair some sort of front wing or whatever it may be. But Jab still lurking behind Pluto. He's on the soft, fresher tires for the time being. And we will see when the first pit stops do come. Davis goes by Rowdy under the hairpin. Rowdy goes a bit wide. He might lose 1, maybe 2 spots right here to Burning Man.
Maybe
Not
3.
yet, but for the lead, Jab is close to Pluto in the chicane. Can't get close enough to make a move. Pluto still keeping the lead.
Pluto's gone defensive.
But Jab has double DRS right here. The detection point is all the way back at the exit of turn 9, which will allow Jab to go alongside for the lead.
Outside. Hold on. And look at that. Beautiful racing room. Not really any contact. I think that was netcode there. And Jab, for the first time, take a picture, ladies and gentlemen. Haas is in the lead. This is beautiful.
First time Haas has been in the lead off of pure pace. Polo got the pole off strategic gambling and strategic pole in Brazil. F1 driver led USA by a strategy call, but this is the first time we've seen a Haas overtake somebody off of pure pace for the lead. Gagi taking the fastest lap. He's all the way back down in 14th, so he's going to have to hope other drivers take a penalty. But for now, 5 of the 17 drivers left running have a penalty. Yellow flag.
There's been a spin. I believe that is Blossom. He spun it. I think he got too much inside curb. No damage.
Doesn't have any damage though. He should be okay. So we'll focus on him and the way his race goes. But Pluto, he's going to be the next guest to take double DRS. Here he comes with more straight speed, more ERS for the lead, taking it on Jab, entering the chicane. He's ahead by the chicane. We have the yellow flag at the back. That's Blossom again.
Interesting.
Kostag also goes by Riles there at the chicane, and here comes Davis once again. Davis gaining on Riles for 5th place. Here he goes alongside.
Whoa.
Pinching and going a bit wide.
Nice and clean. Oh boy. Side by side through the chicane. We saw this happen in 2019 in real life, but it's not going to happen the way it transpired in real life.
Rowdy ahead of Chungus right there. Rowdy side by side with Chungus to turn 5. Here we go.
To the inside. Gonna switch it up. Now is to the outside. He's gonna get DRS. Rowdy's got nowhere to go but the grass. And that's another spot gained by the Williams driver. He's having an absolute cracker of a race. Starting in the back of the race, pack is up to 7th. And he's not done yet.
Davis with the battle. T Blossom picking up a penalty, but Davis with the battle with Riles has lost himself DRS while Pluto's overtaking the race lead. Jab's got DRS once again, but he's just not close enough to possibly making overtake in this race.
I think it's just a game of whether or not do you want to make the move, do you have to make the move. And knowing these two right here, these two are the smartest on the grid. They know when to push and when to not push. And we saw it a couple laps earlier when Jab and battled nice and clean. Didn't really force each other, didn't force the issue, just nice, clean, hard racing. What we want in this league, not slamming each other off every 10 seconds.
Riles entering the pits for his first pit stop. He's going to go to the mediums. He is done with the soft tires. Burning Man as well. Speaking about him on the soft tires, he lost the rear just a little bit right there. And that could possibly ruin his tires just a little bit more.
How much tire wear do you want?
A lot.
Chungus has moved up another spot. Speaking of that, he's gone up to 6th. And he's got DRS. He is just finding the best spots to overtake while getting DRS from each and every car. His next target is Davis in the AlphaTauri. but he's gone a little wide. But Burning Man's made an absolute joke of that chicane. But he's kept the foot in it, and he's been rewarded with no damage. As Davis has gone mega wide, but he's gonna get the run off.
8 tenths between them, 9 tenths now. Chungus just losing time, but he's still within DRS. Davis not within DRS of Kostag. But speaking of DRS, Sam is a little bit closer to Jab as well, and this is the battle for the race lead right now. Jab, double DRS. Kostag picks up his first penalty in the race. But for now, lap 10, Pluto leading the way ahead of Jab, ahead of Sam. 2 cars entering the pit lane. That's Chungus and Burning Man. These are scheduled pit stops by these drivers. None of them have any damage. They are both going to go to the mediums, and they're going to 2-stop the way. But Chungus actually did have damage. Chungus repairing the front wing.
Huh.
So he was able to do that with damage, unless he just picked it up on that lap coming into the pits.
Either way, if he had it before, it was absolutely flying. It looked like it was nothing.
Something I also want to check right now. Pluto does not have any warnings. Jab, no warnings. Sam had a warning on the first lap, but his warning on the first lap was actually for exceeding track limits, none for a collision right there.
Interesting.
3 tenths. He almost ran in the back of him at the hairpin right there, but DRS will be engaged this time for these drivers. Sam a bit more ERS. Jab actually is going down to Pluto's level when it comes to ERS. Look at the ERS difference between Jab and Pluto. Sam in this battle has saved quite a bit. I think he used a slight bit there on the back straight to try to gain on Jab and pass Jab. Sam, oh, he goes close to the wall of champions right there. But anyway, he's keeping DRS, keeping the gap, still staying in second place, waiting for the right move to make on Jab. Rowdy enters the pit lane for the first time this race. But we have a battle. Communist, Chungus, Communist pulling to the left side, back at 13th place. Here comes Chungus now, entering the chicane this time. Communist on the softs, Chungus most recently pitting. And Communist will concede the spot to Chungus. Rowdy TJ Boy was around 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place in this race. Where's he going to come out? He's coming out in this battle toward Chungus. Exiting the pit lane now, right next to the Aston Martin Gagi, and is going to go wheel to wheel out of the pit lane. Look at this. Both almost making contact. Riles takes a penalty, his first penalty. Gagi goes ahead.
Wow, that was tight.
That's why I wanted to focus on that, because coming out of the pit lane will be a stretch here for these drivers. This is something we have to focus on in this race. Keyword 20 Joe, a penalty for him. That is now 9 of the 17 drivers left with penalties, and we're not even halfway. Not even a third of the way. Burning Man with a penalty too.
This is crazy. Like I
Gagi
said,
got a poor exit, and Rowdy has to take advantage of that somehow. He's not close enough this time.
the problem is that they're kind of stuck here in this DRS trend, so it's going to be a little more difficult to make the move on fresh tires when you're stuck in the DRS train here. Just gotta have to wait it out.
Here's Blue Gagi making his first move in this comeback after spinning out. He's going to make a move on his mate, Rice Cracker. Whoa! Side by side there. Rice Cracker has to yield a little bit, and he's going to have to yield even more because here comes Rowdy TJ Boy for 11th place. Can he possibly take 2 and 1? It might be a stretch, but here he goes on Rice Cracker. Down the inside. He's going to go through. Chungus now, his opportunity to try to pass him as well. Chungus got to the gearbox, but couldn't make anything of it.
This is absolutely crazy. And one thing I want to mention on that main straight, Gagi had pretty much no battery, and it's just crazy the closing distance to when TJ got to Gagi. 94% battery compared to Gagi's 27%. When he was on that front stretch, it was about 5%. The closing speed between that is crazy.
Gagi coming back from his race ban is definitely trying to put in a good performance because his only points finished in the league is back at Abu Dhabi, round 6, which is the last time we had a full grid. Pluto coming into the pits.
Rowdy going for a nice little move in the hairpin, a little contact, he got loose. All fair though.
While this is happening, Kostag and Davis, they've got back within DRS. Here comes Rowdy TJ Boy back at this again. 10th place right now. Pluto going to the soft tires, getting that out of the way. Rowdy's got ahead. Aaron pits. Where does Pluto come out in comparison to these DRS trains? We have a Red Bull going by. That's Chromac yet to pit. Will this get interesting? Pluto coming out of the pits ahead of Chromac.
That is as perfect as you can have it for a pit stop for Pluto. Which that also
coming
means
out 10 seconds behind Davis, near nobody.
This also means for Jab and Sam, I think they'll be in the same situation as how Pluto was with that gap.
Well, if the undercut is powerful enough depending on what Will Cromack and Riles do, that could be where they come out, or where Pluto currently is ahead of them. Rice Cracker, a penalty for him. And where people are at with penalties, everybody on the 3-second, Communist with a 5, and Burning Man with 9. Here comes Sam now on Jeb. Do these guys plan to pit this lap or not? But Sam looking to extend, it looks like, considering Jab backing off. Nope, he's coming in.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Sam's boxing on mediums.
He is boxing on mediums. Jab extending on the softs. Does Jab expect to go soft mediums? What's his plan here? Riles going by Cromack now. 6th place in this race. Where does Sam come out in comparison to Pluto?
Oh, it's going to be tight.
Burning Man also getting by Cromack there. Cromack speeding in the pit lane.
Oh, I don't think it's worked out for Sam unless he gets
Pluto,
cleared
yeah,
here.
has came out ahead far ahead.
Does he clear the Ferrari? No, he isn't.
Is in the middle of traffic. Look at this.
Oh, no.
3 seconds behind.
Wow.
Has to hope for some sort of... I mean, Pluto's lap was probably good on the undercut, and Sam couldn't overcut him there, too, with his tire span. For sure, Cromack picking up a 5-second for speeding. I think Communist also had one as well. But Jab's got to do good on these softs if he wants to be able to challenge Pluto back again. Riles doing Pluto a favor right now, keeping Sam and DRS and behind in the dirty air.
Now, the problem is that Sam is on fresh softs, but Ryle's on pretty fresh mediums, so this is going to be a real challenge here. You would think the delta between these two tires are very big, but that's only in clean air. Only in the clean air. As Jab is going to block.
Jab is pitting, and Davis goes by Kostag. Kostag got a really close glimpse of the gearbox there at the chicane. Here comes Sam on Riles now. Sam breezing past Riles.
That's a fair way to put it right there. Breezing past.
Well, he's got to be careful not to pick up a track limit warning on that exit of the wall of champions.
Look how far Jab's going to be back.
Jab is going to... I'm really surprised, you know, with that.
But
Pluto really went for the undercut, and he has really made it work out.
I guess the only benefit for Jab is that he's in between both packs, so he does have clean air.
Yet to pit in this race. Kostag, Davis. I think Rice Cracker pitted at the end of the first lap. So yeah, it's only those two. We've yet to pit. Communist as well on the soft tires. Abandoned on those soft tires, pitting for hards to go the rest of the way.
Hard tires.
So let me just mention as well, by the way, with 15 laps in the race, I don't want to curse anything. We've had a much cleaner races when it comes to the amount of retirements. So far, 15 laps in for a 35-lap Grand Prix, 1 retirement, and that 1 retirement was a driver giving up because he thought that there would possibly be no safety car, and he kind of was right by that, but you just never know with the way these races go. Here comes Kostag once again. Davis getting challenged. Do these two plan to pit anytime soon?
Oh, it's gonna... No?
Perfect. Kostag goes through without contact, and that is how you get a move done in the chicane cleanly and use double DRS to your perfection. Riles struggling in the chicane. Burning Man picks up a penalty in the process. That's now 12 seconds he's got. Here he comes, Burning Man for 5th place in this race. He's had great pace, but not great penalties.
They'll go for a move on the outside.
Chungus also making a move on Rowdy. TJ Boy for 9th place. Chungus down to the inside. Goes through aggressively.
Wow.
And aggressively ahead, but contact!
Aggressively gets spun round!
Rowdy's going to wait for him to be fair.
And wait. He's going to pull the
gentleman
gentleman code.
He knew that was wrong. He's doing the fair decision there. Rowdy, I respect him for that. I think Chungus won't submit a ticket at that point, considering he's done that. Rowdy did the same thing for me in a league race, and this has now been the first time in this league that Pluto has picked up a track limit penalty. It's happened in the 14th race of the league. I said it during the podcast. I would calculate how many laps it took Pluto to pick up a penalty in the league. And I'm going to do that now. Lando, you focus on the battling.
I got you. I just want to also mention, Pluto's gotten a penalty before Aaron. Aaron, good job.
Wow.
I swear to God, if I just jinxed you, don't get a penalty. If you finish this race with no penalties, you're better than Pluto. I'm calling it.
Wow.
We're going to put that on the table.
That's brutal. Burning Man goes by, and he's going to stay ahead now, but we have Aaron Ocon passing Chungus. You were just speaking of him.
Let's go!
Look at this. He made a clean move. He didn't have to pick up a track limit penalty. He's getting better at this. I think he's also in a better car for his liking in these corners, so he's done a lot better on the track limit standard. Oh my god.
Just battles left and right. We love these kinds of street races. As Pluto, with the penalty...
I'm surprised.
30-second gap between him and Sam. Sam.
There's 28 laps around China, right? 28 laps around China.
Yeah, yes.
I'm determined. I'm determined to figure this stat out. 31 at Singapore. How many at Abu Dhabi? 28, 29? How many is there at Abu Dhabi? 28. We'll go 28. I'm not joking. I said I was going to do this. I'm not kidding.
This Blossom's
not
taking
joking,
the
guys.
5-second. Oh no, he's changing the wing for another set of soft tires. Mustang.
26 around Britain. Oh my god. Yeah, Davis. So in this race, by the way, let me just point. Yeah, I wasn't joking. In this race, you have to get a penalty. Communist, Rowdy, Aaron, Jab, Sam, and Davis. So that's 5 drivers. Wow. Imola? How many is there around Imola?
No!
Oh no! No,
God
he's
dang
picked
it,
it up!
Aaron!
18 laps into the race! Oh my god!
Aaron!
You should have said nothing! You should have said nothing! 33 around Portugal? Or yeah, Portugal 33 laps, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
God dang.
Okay, give this man credit. Give this man credit. In the 412th lap in this league, he picks up a penalty. That is Pluto. 411 laps he has gone without picking up a penalty. You know what? I've got to give it to him. That is really impressive. And the Red Bull Blossom being lapped, he's just got to make sure he's staying out of any driver's way. But for second place, here comes Pluto on Davis, both having...
How hard is he going to fight
does
it?
not have DRS, actually. Pluto,
Oh, is he going to go for the
alongside-
move? Does he have to make the move? He's going to go for it. He's a racing driver. And he does.
Wow. Second place taken right there very easily. And Kostag, another good friend of his, rather might give it to him easily or might not. Kostag is extended on these mediums 18 laps, and so has Davis. 16 laps for Racecracker as well. So these guys have yet to pit in this race, and they could possibly be stretching this stint to mediums to softs, depending on what their tires were able to do.
Awesome, with another 3-second. Chungus, is he going to go for a move on Aaron? No, he's going to think better of it.
And with the penalties, the only person in the double digits is Burning Man. But regardless of being in the double digits or not, he still may stay in the points. And he has had a good race, pace-wise. Pluto, we're missing this right now, goes by Kostag. Chungus picking up a penalty while that's
What a
happening.
move by Blossom.
Has to get out of the way here. You can't be in the race leader's way under blue flags. But the crucial thing is for Pluto, though, is he will get DRS from this.
Yeah, if I'm Pluto, I wouldn't be complaining about the blue flags.
Yeah, but I will be complaining about it with Blossom right now, actually, after that DRS there, because Sam has now picked up a part of this train. He's going to try to go by Davis for net P2, possibly the race lead here, based off the penalties.
Apparently Blossom's faster. Oh, there he goes. Never mind.
Yeah, there's 6 seconds with Kostag now, and you're right, there goes Blossom. Mac Bikeman coming in for another pit stop. This is his 3rd pit stop of the race.
It's probably a good thing that we have ghosting on. Got you with 3
Thank
seconds.
goodness. Sam was lurking on Davis right there for 3rd place, and down the order goes Racecracker. Rowdy's out!
Uh-oh.
This could bring out our first safety car.
Safety car, I think.
Yes,
Safety
it
car!
is.
There it is! Oh, contact! Pluto hit Blossom. Blossom hit the back of Pluto. Oh!
There's a 5-second handed to Blossom for that. He should have simply got out of the way of these guys right here. I know he was fighting to get his lap back, but he should have got out of the way.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be in the way there. You know, I mean...
Fortunately, it didn't give Pluto the 5-second that we're usually used to when these collisions happen.
Right, exactly. Rowdy, the second car out of this race, there was contact with him and Racecracker, I think, entering the chicane. I don't know where that collision's happened at, but it's happened in the final sector. Racecracker was trundling down the order. But while this is happening, the only people this will definitely help is Davis, Sam, and even Kostag. And even anybody without a penalty.
Yeah, and this... drive-through penalty for Will. Speeding under the safety car.
I think everybody's coming in.
As
Top 4 come in.
I want
Top
to stay
5,
here.
Top 6, Top 7. We'll see from
Everybody's
onwards there.
pitting. But what tire do you go for? Mediums? I would assume
Possibly
so.
could do softs. Could possibly do softs, considering this could be an extended safety car period, and we could be seeing the race go green at lap 23.
Yeah,
everybody's pitting.
Yeah, people are. It's split down the field. We got mediums and softs going on for people.
Interesting. Burning Man is potentially coming out here in 3rd spot. Sam got held. A lot of drivers got held in that pit lane. Davis and Sam being the main ones. Jab gained a couple positions from that, and you have Burning Man on on sheer luck, sheer pace, sheer safety car, up to 3rd place right now.
This
But
is
he
what I
does
would
have the
do.
12 seconds to spare, so keep in mind about that.
Yeah, and I think this is just gonna hurt the way we saw Polo retire there, because we knew something's gonna happen here.
It's Canada. I mean, it's a street circuit. You know, I mean, somebody ends up going into the wall at some point.
Yeah.
Davis is not happy about that safety car. He said, "Are you serious, Rowdy? Are you serious?"
Yeah, and from my point of view, I didn't see anything other than a blue dot just stop. I think it started on the back straight because I was on board with Gagi when he went down the straight. I did see a front wing at the start of the straight. I don't know if that's where it started, but it definitely finished at the end of the chicane in the final corner.
These drivers are running really close to one another in the safety car. You're supposed to leave a gap, but either way, when we get to this restart going, Pluto will lead the way. It'll be Kostag behind, Burning Man, highest position he's ever run in this league, up to P3. Riles, Jab, the top 5. But this race with the pit stops has now changed. It was Davis, Sam, and Jab, you know, the running order on penalties. It's now Jab, Davis, Sam. So Jab could be in favor to win his inaugural race if he can keep it going off these penalties. And Chungus is entering the pit lane once again.
Interestingly enough, Communist hasn't actually boxed. He's going to stay on the hard tire. I don't know if I agree with that.
There's a lot of things I don't agree with, but I let it play out. So, there you go.
Can we just finish this race? I kind of want the Haas to win now.
Well,
checker flag.
You could have had both Haas's left in this race. You also could have had
both Alpines.
Both Alpines. Who knows? I mean, this race has been crazy so far. And, you know, we have gone, I want to say, record-breaking. What was it? 26 laps last week into the... Yeah, we've gone almost 40 laps without a full safety car, or VSC. So I think that's impressive as it is. And next week is France. That's another track, even harder for a safety car.
Yeah.
The only person who will know about a safety car there, just ask Blossom.
Yeah, interesting tactics, I would say.
You know a little bit about that, Landau, right?
Yeah. I like to thank J&T for causing that whole situation. Just gonna put it out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Just blame J&T.
Well,
J&T did say to you, some along the lines of, you just had to say something when it came to that safety car. Rickson wants a penalty check. We're gonna give him that right now. Here is your penalty check. Will Cromack has a drive-through, and I do not expect the safety car to come in this time. Blossom and Mac Bikeman are now fighting for 15th and 16th, both a lap down. Having to catch the safety car is QBR20 Joe, so we should be coming in next time by. Why did I just see the lap flicker change from 22 to 21 to 22? Okay, I won't question things.
Oh,
anyway,
you saw that too.
Yeah, anyway, with the penalties, here's the way it would be based off your penalty running order. Jab, Davis, and Sam, no penalties to spare. Communist as well, no penalties to spare as well. So with them, they're the only 4 drivers not to have a penalty. 3 seconds for Pluto, Riles, Aaron Ocon, Joe, and Mac Bikeman. Mac Bikeman and Blossom out of the running order because they're a lap down, but they could possibly take positions off of Chaos. Who knows? Anyway, 6 seconds for Kostag, Gagi, Rice Cracker, Chungus, and then 9 seconds for Blossom. 12 for Burning Man. And then we're not sure what Will Cromack has because you have the drive-through and the way of that. And he will have to serve that once we get to green flag racing, not on the in-lap, I'm pretty sure. So we'll be seeing him serve that. He'll be out of the running order and the points, so that'll put Rice Cracker, a Communist, or whatever may be into the points when we get this thing back going. We should be seeing the safety car coming this time, and it is. Pluto leads the way ahead of Kostag, ahead of Burning Man. Pluto hasn't seen a win since Singapore and hasn't seen a podium since Imola. And that's been 2 races, 3 races if you can't do it today. Kostag never seen the podium. Burning Man never seen the podium. Riles never seen the podium. Nor has Jab and Davis and Sam, recent winners. We are really backing up the safety car right here. You are allowed to go side by side at this section of the safety car, but you cannot hit another driver. You've got to be very cautious here. Here we go. Pluto has got going, and he's away. He has
There
guessed
he
it way
goes.
before. 4/10. He may have cold tires, so he has to be careful entering the chicane now. But he does lead the
boy.
way. The Kostag, Burning Man, Ryle's picking up another penalty, Chromac picking up another penalty, and it is Burning Man who's going to get a run here on Kostag for second place. Burning Man making the move, but cannot get by.
Oh.
Mac Bikeman's out. He's the third retirement to this race. And down the order goes Rice Cracker. He's got a little bit of contact. And Communist. And Burning Man picking up now 15 seconds of penalties. Blue Goggy. He goes by Rice Cracker. Or, sorry, Will Chromac. For ninth place in this race. He's picked himself up in a points position in this race at the moment.
I believe Communist has damage. Either that or the hard tires are just not clicking for him.
15 seconds of penalties to spare for Burning Man. That's the least thing he wanted to see with the safety car coming out. But Joe is getting overtaken by Rice Cracker right here. We're going to go side by side of the chicane. He picks up a penalty and goes through.
Wow. Oh, that's Blossom getting out of the way.
Blossom letting them go. Fairly done there. Chungus as well, making a move on Will Chromac. He's got the position right there. Rice Cracker on Joe. There's contact!
Oh!
And we still have Pluto leading the way over Kostag, and then Burning Man Riles. But off of penalties, it is Jab, Davis, Pluto, Sam.
Davis shaping up a move. Oh, there's been a crash. Communist. Has he crashed in the pit lane? VSC is deployed.
Well, everything is just shaping up now. I believe it was rather Burning Man or Kostag who got it, that purple sector right there, and Kostag does stay ahead for that time being. But Communist now out of the race, Mac Bikeman out of the race, and you know, that's what happens when the safety car comes out. I should say cautions bring cautions, and we now have a VSC in this race. What could have been for maybe two finishers, one finisher, or sorry, not one finisher, one retirement, two retirements, who knows what it could have played out as. But as we see this VSC come in, Pluto has a comfortable gap between Kostag, Burning Man, with Riles as well, to the next driver without a penalty. And there you go, Rice Cracker, drive-through right there. He's the only one to pick it up. And Will Chromac, I believe, did serve as drive-through, I want to say. So he's at the back of the field there. Rice Cracker just outside the points for the time being when that drive-through got awarded. But here comes Kostag, just so close behind. Does he choose to overtake Pluto for the lead, even with the penalties?
Oh, Burning Man. Here we go. Burning Man's going to go for it. He's going to try. He's going to go around the outside of turn 1. He's going to get the inside of turn 2. Kostag dives it in, keeps the position secured. Great defensive driving.
Jab has fell down the order too. He's just got passed by Davis and Sam Steed right there. I don't know what happened there. I maybe could have been focusing that, but we had a battle there for second, third place. Here comes Burning Man. Kostag almost wheel to wheel right there, but behind that, Davis right now as Communist frustrated with Rice Cracker there. So that's why Communist might have gone out of the race. Here comes Chungus going by Blue Goggy. Chungus looking for another points finish. Blue Goggy as well doing the same.
This is absolutely crazy, and I'll tell you, Pluto is absolutely loving this. Keep on battling, he's probably saying behind him.
Well, if they keep on battling, that's also going to invite Davis to come up. And look at the drag from Pluto, the sparks. But yeah, it's going to, if these guys continue to battle, that could be a good thing if Davis catches up. But if Davis does not pass these guys, that will help Pluto even more. 5/10 now, double DRS for Kostag now as we enter the final chicane this time. Davis is within distance of passing Pluto off penalties. Same with Sam, but Jab isn't.
Oh!
Davis looking to go for 2 in a row, and he smacked the wall!
I think he's just hit the wall! Has he gotten away with it, though? Caution in the back. I don't think he's gotten away with it.
At the back, yeah, Davis, he's lost time. He's losing time.
He's
Yeah,
letting him go.
he might have. Yeah, that's his chance for 2 in a row over, Davis. But the next hope for that is Sam and Jab, who are just without DRS and just without that 3-second range for now.
Tell you what, I think Jab might have played the cards right. Same thing with Pluto. They went to mediums. Maybe they think they're going to make a late charge, especially Jab. These soft tires dying.
Burning Man got loose. Chicane right there, and is going to have a chance again with DRS down the back straight and down the inside of Burning Man. He'll get the DRS at that detection point. Double DRS actually right here. He will have an extra chance to pass him. Chungus as well goes by Aaron Davis side by side with Chungus. And this battle for second place is still heating up. Burning Man, not close enough yet. Chungus goes by Davis, goes by Aaron. Aaron going by Davis.
Another
Burning
penalty.
Man picking up another penalty. He's close to disqualification.
Wait, really?
Yes.
My God.
18 seconds.
Oh.
Here's Riles down the
Riles.
inside.
Oh, hello.
He was late on that one, but he has
Didn't even see
tried
that.
to make the move. He wants to get by Burning Man, wants to get by Kostek if he wants to have something to say for a podium.
Oh yeah, desperation is definitely kicking in for Riles. This is absolutely insane. As Kostek's a lot closer to Pluto, though.
Well, is Kostek gonna choose to overtake Pluto or not? What is Pluto's penalties after the 3 second? Let's find out. He doesn't have any warnings there, so I mean, he's fine, he's clean. But it's a matter of what Kostek will choose to do here, because Kostek, I'm sure, has been aware of the fact that Aaron has got another penalty, and the fact that the gap to the leader, with this battling, 2.6 between Sam and Pluto. Jab would still be on the podium, but
Sam
we still
is right
have
on the...
7 laps to go.
Sam is so close.
I was just focusing on 11th place there.
Oh, here we go.
There,
Here we
and
go.
that could have made a difference. But what is going to make a bigger
Here we
difference
go.
now for the lead?
To the inside. Into one. Is he gonna do? He left him the space.
Oh, he's going to make slight contact.
Great defensive
Again, that's
driving by
lost.
Pluto.
That's lost Pluto time, and that's allowed Jab to get within that 3 second barrier as well. Even
They're
though
so
Davis picked up
close.
the damage, we think he is still close to taking drivers off penalties as well. He could be in for a top 5 by the end of this.
Just got Olympic. Goggy, fastest lap.
Goggy with the fastest lap, but it won't be an extra point as of right now. He's outside the points. Here's Burning Man just so close, lurking behind Kostag, and Burning Man is on, even if it's points or not with these penalties, he is on for his best performance of the season, and possibly in the league yet.
Oh.
I don't know
What?
why.
F1 game's on.
Is he even in the session? Alright, anyway. Burning Man challenging back at Kostak for second place. He's got the slipstream. He's got no battery, though, whatsoever. He's close enough by the chicane. Kostak's going to have to defend. And can't defend much there. Because Burning Man taps the wall. But Riles may have another opportunity to turn one like he had a couple laps to go. Here he goes. Down the inside. Touches wheels.
This is what Sam wants.
Exactly what Sam wants. Davis gets by
Still
Chungus
going
right
at
there.
it.
Here's Ryle still going at it for
It's
third
a
place in this
chicane.
race. Burning Man going
Big gap to
ahead.
give away.
21 seconds now in penalties, and this is allowed
He is
Sam
very
to catch
big.
up to
He
DRS.
is very...
Chungus is pitted. Is he even in the session? You might have to invite Chungus back. What's happened to Chungus here? He was on for a points finish, and now he is picking up every penalty possible. Yeah, he needs an invite back, Lando.
Oh shit. Going. I got him. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There he is.
Wasn't sure why the game was ghosting him, and the game kept having him pick up penalties there. I don't think
Did
that's
he
what
even
he's doing
notify?
either.
I swear,
mean,
it didn't even notify that
It didn't
he
notify though. That's the
disconnected.
thing. I mean, he
So
said
weird.
to us, "Can you not notice he's left the session?" The thing is, it didn't notify us. Kostak
Yeah,
barely within DRS this time. Burning Man still no battery, but he is just ever so close to making a move in the chicane and can't do so.
Sam's in it.
I know
Sam's
Burning
got
Man.
the DRS.
Right, and I know Burning Man wants to make this move on track, but he has to go through Kostak first, and barely within any DRS, any ERS, 30% or lower within the top 3, within the top 4, within the top 5. But guess the only driver who's ahead on DRS?
Spinner.
Goggy's out.
Uh-oh.
That could bring out a safety car, and it
Sa-
has.
Oh my
Pluto does not like this at all.
God.
But by the way, ERS doesn't matter now, but the only person who saved at ERS to a good extent was Jab there. Only one above 30-40% right there. And that is a bummer.
way.
Goggy was looking for a points finish. Maybe got into a collision with Rice Crackers. He's repairing his wing. Is out.
Wow.
That is now 5 retirements in this race. So that's not too bad. I just hope it stays that way because it is Canada, and I hope there's really none in France. But still.
Technically, we have 3, if you think about it, because we have 3 actual on-track retirements, because Polo
True.
and Mac just kind of
Yeah, but I think Communist with the pit wall or something, you know?
So I don't know what happened to Communist. That was weird. Interestingly enough, if you're the leader, what do you do?
Well, Polo,
This
it
is
makes
the
sense why
hardest
Polo
decision right here.
has retired now, by the way, in the race. He mentioned that he had something to do after the race, but he decided with the way his race was going, he would get it done. Now, either way, will
Aaron's
anybody pit
pitting.
for any new soft tires? No.
Aaron's gonna
Aaron
pit.
is, though, correct. So he's got 6 seconds, and anybody else behind him just doesn't really have much penalty, so he's going to try to see if he can overcome this. He's going to go softs, I would assume. Yes, he does go softs.
Kind of interesting to see that. Maybe it's just because this is gonna be a long safety car, and we're only gonna get a 2-lap shootout, maybe.
Well,
Look at where
Davis is going to have to
Blossom is.
pit. Joe has to pit as well. Joe looking for a points finish. Chromac is going to go by. Yeah, Blossom, he's a lap down. And the thing is with Blossom, unless the game has allowed him to lap himself, I don't think it... yeah, he's still a lap down. Even though he's a lap down, if anybody else gets into any more collisions, he could be potentially getting a points finish. Who knows? I doubt it, but we'll see. I've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, we have a guy in the top 30 that have 21 seconds of penalties.
Hey, well, honestly, I will tell you right now, if there are some collisions in these late laps, he still could finish in the points. You never know.
That is true.
So
That's the scary
that's the
part
good thing
of
for him.
it.
Well, I see Rowdy, I see F1 Driver, I see Joe,
Oh,
I
I've
see
lagged out.
JNT, I see... You have. I will get you an invite. Well, I see a
Beautiful.
lot of people in chat. I want to see... I will get you a quick invite. I want to see what people's predictions are for these last couple laps with what they think. Interested to see what could happen. So, yeah.
There we go. Just be funny if it just suddenly rains now. Get a nice little rain.
Well, yeah, I don't
Oh.
think it'll happen though with the clouds in the area, but we do have a 2-lap to go restart about to happen. We're just waiting for the drivers to catch up. Chungus will be the last one to catch up. And we'll be restarting with 2 laps to go. Late race safety car. Last time we saw this, Imola. And, you know, what I mentioned with these late race safety cars is that, F1 drivers is all
Carnage.
drivers, DNF except for Aaron. But, you know, one thing I mentioned, though, with the late laps, though, even though Imola was a bit more of a stretch with the amount of laps left, the thing to mention, though, is Pluto and Polo, both in the Williams at the time, gone from 9th and 10th to 2nd and 3rd in the last couple laps, so anything can happen. We've
Yeah.
seen crazier things, and you just don't know what could happen. So we'll see.
Part of the reason why Polo is down there might have been because of me.
Might have been because of me as well. Anyway. Sam and Jab, no penalties. Davis, no penalties. Davis could be looking at a podium depending on what could be happening in these last couple laps. Pluto still has a fair opportunity. He's the only one with 3 seconds. Everybody else, 6 or more. Aaron on that 6th second as well. Here we go. Safety car
boy.
in this lap for the final time this race. Pluto the leader. This might back up the pack even more. He's going to try anything he can to pull that gap out from Sam and Jab. What will Kostag, Burning Man, and Riles do with their penalties, though? Will they try to fight Pluto? Will they try to battle it out for themselves? We'll find out what goes on. Either way, it's a 2-lap shootout, and this will be determining the race victory. We'll focus on the leader gap. We'll focus on the interval gap, but Pluto keeping a constant
He's
pace.
gone.
He's going now, actually.
Green
He's going
flag, here
now
we
before
go.
the safety cars hit the pits, and Kostag's gone very far ahead of Burning Man as well. Burning Man backing them up just slightly, and look at this. Riles and Sam and Jab side by side there for a moment. Burning Man really costing himself of challenging Kostag, but Riles challenging for a 3rd place. What can he do from this?
Here we
Race
go.
Cracker goes by Chungus. Riles down the inside. Oh, there's contact.
Oh, what a save!
And
Oh.
we have a yellow flag. That's Chungus out of the
no.
session. Davis
What?
going by
By
Rice
himself?
Cracker, going by Chromac now. And side by side to enter the 2nd chicane. It's trouble at the back of the field, but Jab and Sam going side by side. Riles going side by side with Burning Man. He spun.
Oh
Both them
my
spun.
god, it's a wreck fest! Holy!
And
oh, we're
Jab
still
has got
wrecking.
damage.
Oh,
Aaron's got
big
damage.
wreck.
We've got a cluster.
still wrecking.
Rice Cracker's out.
Red
Davis has got
flag.
damage.
Red flag! Oh my
Davis,
god!
his whole front wing is gone.
My God,
Burning
half
Man
the
got
field
damage.
is
Aaron
gone.
got damage. Riles got damage. But the only one who
Oh.
could say something about Pluto's penalties is
It's
Sam,
Sam.
and he's not even within 3 seconds.
He's two! He's two out!
But even then, let's point this out. Kostag is still on for a podium in the Alfa Romeo.
What
All
on
that
earth?
with Riles and Burning Man's contact has costed Sam's chance for the win. Rickson mentioned that Gagi had screwed over his chances for the win, but right now it's Pluto, Kostag 1-2 on track as we enter the final lap this time. Jab falling back.
God, half
and
the field
his
is
chance for a
dead.
podium is sure gone. Oh my god. What's happened?
Davis is gonna limp it home with no front wing. Bloss is gonna go from
What did we
13th
just
to
see?
11th with all of this. What on earth just happened?
Oh, well, Pluto still leads the way by a second. I'm purely amazed because right now, QBR20 Joe is 4th and on for a top 5.
This is insane.
Yeah, he's on for 5th right now, depending on what Jab or Davis could do off these penalties. But right now, Pluto is leading the way and looking to take a second win in the league. Last season's champion is coming into this season with a lot more pace for sure in a closer field, which we wouldn't expect to have happen. Joe, just off of DRS from Sam, he was able to avoid the carnage, and he could possibly take a double Alfa Romeo top 5. And from all that, Jab limping at home with damage, Davis limping at home with damage, but the one who was able to avoid trouble today and stayed out front for the majority of the race has led this race since. He took the lead. Pluto comes home to take the Canadian Grand Prix. Last season's champion is now a winner in Season 2. Coming across the line, second, and Kostag will take a first podium for Alfa Romeo.
Absolutely insane. I have no idea what I just watched. I don't even know. I'm speechless. That was the biggest wreck I've ever seen on this game. That took out legitimately half the field in one go.
Man takes his first points finish in the league. Davis comes back for points. Aaron recovers for points with 6 seconds of penalties at the end. Will Cromack, another points finish. Riles in the points for the first time this season. Double Ferrari points finish. Jab at a top 5. Joe in the Alfa Romeo, a worst car for his performance. 4th. Kostag, a first podium. And Pluto and Sam, a 1-2 finish. First time since Imola, the last time those two were on podium.
Is it Blossom's best finish? P11.
Correct. That's his first time.
Good job for him. He almost just lost it all in the final corner. He almost slammed the wall. Aaron gets the driver of the day. Even though I'm pretty sure we're going to have a different one. But what on earth happened? I had no TV, no camera angle to even see it. I saw the end of it. I saw about 8 cars just go off and just... I'm telling you, there was an oil spill. Somebody was dripping oil.
Wow, I cannot believe what I've seen.
What was that?
Crazy ending. What a crazy ending. Pluto comes home to win. Sam second, and Sam will be leading the championship after this one. Weird enough to say. 2 second place finishes in a row. Call him Mr. Consistent right now, but Mr. Consistent from last season, Pluto will take an invite to the party. So will Sam. So will Coast. That is the final result of the day, by the way. What have we seen?
Reason 1 billion why Canada shouldn't be on the schedule. Oof.
Fair play to QBR20 Joe last week. He had the pace in the Ferrari. He didn't have as much of the pace today in the Alfa Romeo, and he has been able to take a 4th place finish out of all that. Well, we'll get here. We saw a first-time podium sitter last week with Communist. Now we have seen it with Kostek. He becomes the 16th different driver to take a podium. Sam Steed takes a double Alpine podium. Alfa Romeo, 3rd podium in the league. Williams as well, 2nd win in the league. And Pluto and Sam stay tied at the top of the field for most podiums in the league. QBR20 Joe, best finish, his first points finish as well. Jab, a top 5. What a crazy ending to that race. That was... I've never seen that many cars involved in a late race accident. I don't know what to say. Let's start with reverse order to the podium, though. If you guys do have anything to say to each other, I'll actually allow that now. I'll give you guys a minute.
Cool down
we do start with reverse order.
I would not want to be stewards.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I saw it. I was right in front of it. I had to go onto the grass. It kind of ruined my chance of winning.
I don't even know what happened. I was just trying to follow Polita and
Neither
then
do we.
chaos behind.
Burning Man and what's his name? Riles. There was something in 2 where like Burning Man just didn't gave him damage, and then Riles went for a move, and Burning Man didn't leave space from. That's what from I saw, of course.
Oh, alright.
Well, what a chaotic, crazy ending of the Canadian Grand Prix. Joe, by the way, on that last safety car, remember, Lando, he pitted. He was at the back of the field. He was just barely inside the points. He comes home for a 4th place finish. And his first points finish, too.
We love Alfa Romeo supremacy right there.
How about that?
They pulled a me. They stayed in the back the whole race and waited until the big one happened. And it
Maybe
did.
to point out the people who guessed the amount of penalties Aaron got correctly. It was Dominant Square, JNT, Rickson, and Joe. The people who guessed how many seconds he would get. He got 6 seconds in this race. But now let's get to the podium interviews. 6 pit stops for Blossom, 6 pit stops for Chungus. A little bit of a well, I mean, I think we've seen more before. But let's get to our podium finishers today. Well, let's go with Kostag first. Reverse podium order. Kostag, make sure you have your audio included. You ran up at the front of the field when you chose not to pit. When you gone medium softs, you gone with the 1 stop, I want to say, or maybe a 2 stop, whatever. 1 stop for the time being. With your strategy, and you stayed up front and challenged for the lead, and stayed right there behind Pluto at that point onwards, and took a podium.
Yeah, it was a 1 stop. I started on the mediums and then went on to the softs on the first safety car. I mean, I needed to keep like the best track position because the car ain't it, chief. I'm in the alpha. Like I need to just keep the track position, and I just went from there. Try to follow Pluto around. He was quite fast today.
Yeah, I've got to ask, you were in the Haas last season, and your best finish prior, I mean, we saw you making moves in the first couple laps, and you were really impressive with that. You started, what, 7th or 8th, and you going up to 5th already? Me and Lando were amazed. We truly were. I mentioned at that point in the race, and I knew it could be a factor that your best finish prior, I want to say, was like 4th or 5th, and the fact that today could be the day that could be improved, and it was. I gotta say, talk to me a little bit about that. And my last question before I allow Lando to answer or ask any questions would be, do you think you could have done that in the Haas last season, if that was possible?
Alright, yeah. The best one I think in the Haas was like 4th in Britain, but that was after like a bunch of weird things happening on track. Anyway, yeah, I started like P8 in this one, and I was on the mediums, so like main focus was to like go long into the race, but I saw that I had good pace at the start, so I just went for some moves because everyone around just seemed to be a little slow, and so I just used the mediums and went for a few moves, tried to stay with the lead pack until they had to pit, and just went on the 1 stop to try and get position. And what was the other one? Could I have done that in the Haas?
About to start, yeah. About to start, and yeah, you done that in the Haas, yeah.
Nah, the Haas is a dog around here. Nah, no way. We saw and what's his name, Pluto, struggling in the Haas as well. I don't think I would have done that in the Haas.
Correction, Paul Lowe, before Pluto says anything about that. But yeah, anyway, congratulations on the podium. Lando, do you have any questions for our 3rd place finisher?
The only thing I gotta say is you had some excellent defense against Burning Man in the Mercedes. That's really all I gotta say. That was impressive. The amount of late braking you can do in that Alfa Romeo is absolutely astonishing.
Yeah, and I always forced him to the outside, and I know like most of it was into turn 1, and the outside doesn't have too much grip, so I just try to keep it tight and just brake late, and that's about it.
Tell you what, you earned this podium, and I hope to see you more on the podium. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Lando, how about you talk to our championship leader who finished 2nd place? It's a 2nd Alpine podium for the second week in a row.
Well, Sam, you're 2 for 2. 4-2 again. How was the race from your POV?
Just a few things went wrong. So when the safety car got called out the first time, Davis broke very early, dangerously. Like, it's not like he's going to get a penalty for speeding for the first few seconds, so he could have gradually slowed down. It didn't help with the lapped cars in front, I'm not going to lie, they were just in the way. So that was frustrating, so I had to get front wing damage. I came out like 7th. And then the second safety car came out, and something happened between Burning Man and Riles, and it just sort of ruined my chance of winning.
Well, I guess you could say it did hurt your chances of winning the race, but you didn't sustain any big damage from that, I want to say 11-car pileup that just took place. I'm gonna call it a Mickey Mouse crash for now until I see all
Yeah,
the
it was a
angles.
Mickey Mouse crash.
Oh, there it is.
Can't
It's
lie.
been confirmed. Do you have any idea what happened? What really started it?
Yeah, so I was the car behind the two that collided. Riles made a move and then Burning Man didn't leave enough space. I don't know if the move was too late. That will be decided in due course, but that's what started it. And then I knew that I wasn't going to make it through the track, so I had to go across the grass, and I don't think people did. It's like a Martinsville big one, something like that.
Yeah, I think from me and Ryan's point of view, again, I saw the second half of the crash where I was on board with Davis and I saw Mercedes just get flung up into the air.
I don't even know what happened behind. I just saw the first part of contact and a lot of people.
Looked like an
Crashing.
open lobby wreck. That's what it looked
Yeah,
like to me.
the race was actually quite good before then. It was enjoyable. There was no real crashes, but it's at the tightest part of the track, and it was bound to happen. It was desperation. There's like 2 laps to go. I mean, if there wasn't another safety car, I don't think the race would have been judged a dirty one, but it's the way it ended.
Yeah, it was a very clean race. I think me and Ryan can agree up until that final, that final couple things.
And then
I was
people
gonna
can't really
say,
do much. It was-
desperation's gonna kick in for those
Yeah.
drivers, and it definitely did. That's something that needs to be worked on. Anyways, Ryan, do you have anything for our P2 driver?
I'm not going to ask, is this a season because he's leading the championship? But what I'm going to ask is about the championship leading aspect of it, though. You know, you are leading the championship.
For the
and
first
that
time.
is a great thing for the first time. Yes, that is true. That is a great thing to have. You go to a track next week at France where you won last season. I should probably ask, does the pressure of leading the championship for the first time feel a bit different than the pressure from last season of challenging Pluto last season when you had a lot more to lose, or no? What's the scenario there?
Did you just ask me a question? No, never mind. Sorry.
Last season, I think I sort of, until the final race, I took it as pressure was off. I was the one that was behind the 8 ball trying to get points until the final race where I was just awful. But I don't think it's going to add much pressure, bearing in mind being race 2. If it was later on in the season, maybe a little bit more, but nothing stupid. But it's early on. But like I said last week, consistency will lead to the championship in this short season.
Well, again, congratulations on second place. And now to our winner and last season's champion, Pluto. Make sure you have your audio included. I want to talk to you a bit about that race. You had a dominating qualifying. Williams previously never led a qualifying session. You guys led all 3. You took pole, and you had the pace very strongly throughout the race. Net leader a lot of the point. I mean, you deserve to win the race. But there were a lot of safety cars and a lot of chaos happening behind you that could have prevented you from doing so. What was the nerves in those moments like?
Nerves in which moments? When the safety car first came out?
Yeah, safety car first came out and then the last safety car came out.
I wasn't nervous, I was just disappointed. The setup I had was specifically designed not for a safety car, because I did it in Grand Prix with safety cars turned off. I knew there would be, I thought I'd just wiggle my pit stops in somewhere in between. But yeah, there was no safety car during my entire pit stop strategy. I was going to the end, and I would have been a lot quicker than the last 6-7 laps maybe. And then a safety car came out at that exact point, so I thought he was gone. I was pulling the gap. I was quite happy around 2.7 to Sam, and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna have him in the last few laps. Then another safety car came out, which wasn't nice. So I thought I'd try and get the weirdest safety car restart I could to get the majority of the gap, and then hopefully pull it away on the last one. But I didn't need that because somebody decided to crash. I don't know who it was or what happened. I just drove away.
Yeah, well, it's a win for you, a first pole for you. It took you 14 races, and by the way, I don't know if you heard from the stream or not, but 411 laps you got in the league prior to taking your first track limit penalty. Well, I guess, what was the difference today in taking the track limit penalty you did, and what was the difference for you finding the outright pace to be dominant today?
To be quick, you sort of need to cut the corners, and sometimes you just cut it a tiny little bit too much. So the last chicane, you've got to cut the first curb, and sometimes you just cut it a bit too much. And it's the same for all the other chicanes. You probably saw me in qualifying how much curb I was taking in the third chicane. Yeah, you've got to do that, and then I just overstep the mark.
When it comes to that stat of 411 laps, you gone without taking a penalty. I mean, have you ever gone that long in other leagues without taking a track limit penalty, or you know?
It's just this league where I've started to not care as much about it. I've changed the way I take races. I used to just try and go as fast as I can the whole time, and that obviously got me penalties. This time I just drive at about 85% and see if I'm quick enough like that. And I am, funnily enough, which is nice.
Well, we'll see if you can be able to get yourself up farther in the championship. You're the one having to come back a little bit after that first race, and Sam's the one being the protagonist as of now. Congratulations on the win. Lando, do you have any last questions for Pluto?
All I gotta say is, did you think that Kostak at any chance had an opportunity to pass you, and if so,
Yes.
how did you take in on that?
I wasn't a massive fan, to be perfectly honest. I knew Jamie and Kostak were fighting behind, which means Kostak had his ERS on down the entire straight, which was not nice. Because I build like 7/10 to him, and then you get all of that back with slipstream DRS and ERS. And sometimes he was close enough to attack me to defend from Jamie, because if he'd have broke early, Jamie would have just gone on one side of him. So yeah, I had to defend against him 1 or 2 times, which I wasn't massively happy about, because I had to pull the gap to the people who didn't have a penalty.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. Well, that's about it from the drivers we spoke to. That was Canadian Grand Prix. Next week we have the French Grand Prix. Funnily enough, on my birthday, May 22nd. Next week, next Sunday. Make sure you tune in then. And then after that, we will have our off week and only off week of the season, and that may be the chance for people to regroup and the way things could change in the championship. So, going into France next week, we'll have to see what we can expect. Next Sunday, 22nd, same time as always. Make sure you tune in. Then, it'll be me and Lando once again up in the commentary box. But until then, have a good one.